Say thank you so much to the YouTube channel Politstorm and all of the people who have worked in that effort to educate people. And I truly, I haven't felt really this, inspired and believing that what I was hearing was right and correct. As I have lately when I've been listening to Politstorm. Bad Empanada helped me understand things a lot more also. Both of these channels have, presented clear, logical arguments, and evidence to support their claims, that have helped me, reevaluate my dogmatic support for China, believing that this is, the leading socialist nation in our time. I've been homeless most of my adult life, and I've been proud of myself for just coming to Marxism in general, because I was raised in a very conservative white nationalist background. I had we moved down from New York, my mother and my siblings, and she married a country boy, white country boy, so not many people where I'm from know anything about Marxism, and I'm going to continue to try to educate people. And the one fact of the billionaires being in the party and having a voice in the policy making, and Politstorm very accurately showed, it used to be that there were 70-something% agrarian workers. Now it's, I forgot the exact number, but way less. And, there's just a lot to it. You could check out the channel itself, but, I talked to another person, Jason Unruhe. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but he has a YouTube channel too. And, I have him on Facebook, and I was asking him about it just now. And, he says, the revolution will come from the global south. Once the imperialist countries are cut off from their wealth, then the people there will rebel, And that's a view that's been expressed to me over the years. And I said, we talked about how he said it was hard for him to accept at first too, but he feels better knowing he's fighting for those who are actually struggling for their liberation. Right now, I believe it is best to support the global south and all, the people's movements, against the United States imperialism. And, I told him how, for a while it was hard for me to accept, because I believe the only thing stopping the revolution is us. It's our work as communists. But after a few years of being scorned by the fellow workers and oppressed, I was trying to help liberate. I came to see, how most of the people in the United States actually do feel. They don't care. They are fine with their lives right now, most of it. Even though they know it's tough, they believe America is great and has given them this great quality of life, but it's not forever. You can only be the world empire for so long and reap those rewards and benefits, not rewards, but those benefits so long, I guess a reward for your submission in the imperialist empire. But I want to be right, and I want to be a good person, and I want to fight for what's right. And so, I wanted to make a video, decidedly announcing ending my support for China as a socialist state. Jason Unruhe said, I stopped supporting them as recognizing and supporting them as a socialist state a long time, but I support, the struggle against U.S. imperialism. And I think Politstorm made a very good argument about how, this, and I've always been against Russia and made videos even a few years ago when Russia and Ukraine war just started, talking about how both sides were imperialist. You know, the imperialist NATO using Ukraine, and Russia trying to be imperialist, and they are imperialists, you know. And I understood that, you know. And so I've always spoken out against the supporting of Russia as some sort of anti-imperialist, but I still supported China. And Politstorm very correctly helped me understand how, you know, right after World War One and World War Two, the United States was a small power, you know, and you know, the Britain and France and these European countries, they had the power. And so the United States, like one of the most famous examples in Cuba, they went into Cuba, you know, with propaganda painting how horrible that the Spanish people were treating the Cubans, and then turned around and colonized Cuba themselves. They said, hey, you know what? Those Spanish people are treating the Cubans so horribly. We have to go liberate them and then set up our military base and then run their whole government and then extract their resources and make them work for us for just a little bit of wages that we decide to give them. That's literally what they did. So it's like, you know, support it. And, you know, I even talked about how Stalin pointed out that, and Lenin pointed out, supporting one imperialist against another, an imperialist war, is a flaw and not something us communists should do. We should support the working class of these countries, and being against imperialist wars that's using and sending poor people to die on their behalf for their imperialist motives, you know. So, you know, I understood this, and I think it's, you know, supporting China for being anti-US, you know, as Bad Empanada says, if they have more power in the world, it would be better. They do better, have better relations with these countries, but they still don't, like Politstorm pointed out, how they're helping the bourgeoisie of these countries suppress the workers' movements in these countries that they're trying to set up their fucking, you know, projects in, you know. So, you know, I think for right now, we don't need to try to defend China as an anti-imperialist US. We just need to focus on the oppressed people, not which power is better than which other power, because at the end of the day, you know, just like America turned around and said that they were anti-imperialist, like they literally had an anti-imperialist slogan towards Cuba and other nations in South and Middle America, you know, Latin America. So I'm reevaluating, and I'm trying to understand more and be more mature. Any criticism is appreciated. I want to say thank you so much to Politstorm and Bad Empanada. And, you know, it's all about us growing. You know, we shouldn't put each other down or even put down other workers or oppressed people, you know, because they have a wrong view. We should try to educate them always and bring everybody to an elevated understanding, a true understanding of how the world is. You know, God bless, though. I don't believe in dogmatism. Sorry if God bless offends some atheists. I love atheists, you know. And I just have a personal faith, you know, but I believe in dialectical historical materialism. You know, I don't believe in any dogma or, you know, anything like that. So God bless.